The fact that Jesus was willing to go to the Roman centurion's house was important, and it certainly would have been something the Pharisees would have really taken offense to, because Jews were not supposed to associate with Gentiles. Certainly the people listening at that time would have understood the significance of that. Luke 7, verses 6 to 8. So Jesus went with them. But when he was not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to him to say to him, Lord, do not trouble yourself, for I am not important enough that you should come under my roof. That is why I did not consider myself worthy even to come to you. But just speak, and with a word my servant will be healed. For I am also a man placed under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes. And to my slave, do this, and he does it. The fact that Jesus was willing to go to the Roman centurion's house was important, and it certainly would have been something the Pharisees would have really taken offense to, because Jews were not supposed to associate with Gentiles. Certainly the people listening at that time would have understood the significance of that. Now, when we hear the response or the message that the centurion has for Jesus, do not trouble yourself, I'm not important that you should come under my roof, only say the word and my servant will be clean. Those of you who are Orthodox and who attend the liturgy regularly, this should sound familiar to you, because one of our communion prayers, a communion prayer of St. John Chrysostom, says, I am not sufficient, O Master and Lord, that you should enter under the roof of my soul, but as you desire as the lover of mankind to dwell in me, I dare to approach you. So that's a reference to this passage here in Luke chapter 7. Verse 8, again, this is very important, that the centurion understands that Jesus is somebody with a clear and unique authority, and that a Gentile would see this is very significant. Again, most Romans didn't even regard Jews as people. So for him to have this kind of deferential respect for Jesus was really something. You compare this with the Pharisees, Jesus' confrontation with the Pharisees who are supposed to be the inner circle, who are well-versed in the scriptures, have no respect for Jesus. And here's this Gentile, this outsider, who has deep respect and such humility, such respect for Jesus, that he says, I don't even feel worthy to come and talk to you myself. And I certainly don't feel worthy for you to come into my house, but just say the word, because I know you have the authority and I know you can take care of this without even visiting me. Luke 7, verses 9 and 10. Now when Jesus heard this, he admired him, and he turned and said to the crowd that was following him, I tell you, I have not found such faith as this in Israel. And when the men who had been sent returned to the house, they found the slave who had been sick in perfect health. Father Lawrence Farley says, here was a wonder and a sign of future wonders to come. For this Gentile's faith was a sign that other Gentiles could yet come to put their trust in the Jewish Messiah. We have this Gentile, and not just a Gentile, but a Roman soldier, obviously a pagan. He displays more faith in Jesus than the revered spiritual leaders of the community. And Jesus says that publicly. So we can imagine the reaction from the people who heard his words. The scribes and the Pharisees always had their agents in the crowds listening to what Jesus said so that they could report it back. So you can just imagine then how they reacted when they reported these words back to their bosses back in Jerusalem. But again, this is a major theme in the Gospel of Luke. This is a gospel for all peoples. He is the Messiah that comes to the Jews and through the Jews to all of humanity. Thanks for joining me for this episode of my podcast. If you'd like to learn more about Eastern Orthodox Christianity but can't regularly attend an Orthodox church, you might be interested in the Fellowship of St. Theophan the Recluse, an online community of Orthodox seekers and inquirers. For more information, send me a message. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, or if it's on social, to like and follow. Until next time, take care, and God bless.